One of the major 20th century attractions at the beach was the roller coaster at the boardwalk. The heyday of the wooden roller coaster was the 1920s. Accordingly, local entrepreneur W. H. Adams Sr. built the first roller coaster here in the late 1920s. It was part of the Ocean View amusement park located in the area where Pablo Avenue intersected with the oceanfront. Adams hired John Miller of the Miller and Rose Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to build the massive ride, the first in Florida. The 90-foot-high coaster was the pinnacle of fun for tourists and locals alike. The 90-second ride was 3/5 of a mile long, included 7 dips, and reached speeds of 50 miles per hour. Local Ed Smith described the first coaster like this: "The coaster was really something. It scared me so bad every time I got on it until I just finally gave up and watched other nitwits ride it. It was so tall and had so many near straight down dips until I could not see how it stayed on the rails, and besides, it wasn't going anywhere, for it always came back to where it started." The first coaster came down in a punishing storm, probably in 1932 or 1933. Not considered a major hurricane, the storm nonetheless reduced much of the coaster to kindling. The original coaster was replaced by a less harrowing ride. That coaster stood until 1950. Ads touted that it was inspected inch by inch every day. "Thrills, chills, but not a chance of spills," the newspaper stated. Nonetheless, many local mothers would not permit their children to enjoy the thrills of the clickety-clackety wooden coaster. In fact, the coaster had an exemplary safety record, typical of Miller and Rose Company rides. It was the major attraction on the boardwalk, and a 1944 publication estimated that more than 9 million people had ridden the coaster rails between 1928 and 1944. At its height, it thrilled 8,000 riders per day. Sadly, the ride was deemed unsafe in 1950 and torn down. The coaster's demolition contributed to the decline of fortunes of the boardwalk. The boardwalk was free of coaster-caused streams until 1958, when LeGrand Amusement Park constructed a Wild Mouse roller coaster. The Wild Mouse was a small steel structure coaster and only lasted a few short years. The Wild Mouse and other rides in the amusement park closed in the early 1960s. Perhaps, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the laughter and shrieks and the slow buildup of the clickety-clackety, clickety-clackety wooden coaster that once stood at the beach.